In this video, we'll be taking a look at one NFL game happening on October 5th, 2023, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one NFL game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Bears versus Washington Commanders. The winless Chicago Bears travel to the nation's capital to take on the Washington Commanders in this week's Thursday night football game of the week. The Bears are 0-4 on the season after blowing a big lead last Sunday and falling at home to a previously winless Denver Broncos team. The Commanders took the defending National Football Conference champion Philadelphia Eagles into overtime before falling on the road to even their record at 2-2. Chicago thought they were on their way to their first win of the season last week against Denver with a 28-7 lead, but ended the game on the wrong side of a 24-0 run. The Bears had a chance to take the lead when the score was tied at 28, but opted to go for it on 4th and 1 from the 18 instead of kicking the field goal. Khalil Herbert was stopped short, giving the Broncos the ball, leading to the game-winning field goal. Justin Fields had his best statistical game of the season against Denver. He went 28-35 with 335 yards and a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. On the season, Fields completes 64.2% of his passes for 215.2 yards per game with 7 touchdowns to 5 picks. The jury is still out on if Fields will be the long-term solution for Chicago, as they may end the season with a high draft pick and feel pressured to take a quarterback. DJ Moore has begun to show his potential as a playmaker in this offense. He leads the team in receptions and receiving yards. Cole Kmet is a reliable tight end and adds another 18 receptions and 189 yards. Moore and Kmet each have 2 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert is their top back. He averages 49 yards per game, but does not have a rushing touchdown on the year yet. Chicago ranks 22nd in scoring with 19 points per game, and their defense is 31st in points allowed, surrendering 34 points per game. Chicago has given up at least 27 points in all 4 games. Linebacker T.J. Edwards leads the team in tackles with 51. Through 4 games, the Bears have only generated 2 sacks and 2 interceptions. The Washington Commanders were 8.5-point underdogs against the Eagles last week. They covered the spread as soon as overtime started, but were unable to pull off the upset victory. First-year starter Sam Howell played well, completing 29 of his 41 passes for 290 yards and a touchdown. Sam Howell needs to limit his turnovers if the Commanders hope to challenge in the National Football Conference. Howell has 5 interceptions to just 4 touchdown passes on the season. Howell is completing 67.1% of his passes for 240.3 yards per game. Brian Robinson Jr. has been the most productive skill position player. He is rushing for 65.3 yards per game with 3 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin has been the top receiver with 21 catches and 53 yards per game. Curtis Samuel has added another 17 catches for 44.5 yards per game. No player on the team has caught more than 1 touchdown pass. The Commanders are 17th in the league in scoring with 22 points per game and are 29th in scoring defense, allowing 30 points per game. The defensive stats may be a bit inflated, as they have played 2 of the best offenses in the league in back-to-back games in the Bills and Eagles. Safety Cameron Curl leads the team in tackles with 37. Washington has 13 team sacks, led by defensive end Montez Sweat with 3. The team has 2 interceptions through 4 games. Oh, okay, we're actually doing this. This is a standalone game in primetime that is going to be played. There's no way we can move it. Okay, whatever you say, NFL. I was pretty low admittedly on the Commanders coming into the season. I thought the hire of Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator would potentially create some strife between the embattled sitting head coach and the aspiring one. So far, it seems to be working pretty well, all things considered. The Commanders put up 31 points against the Eagles on the road last week. They put up 35 against Denver, although so is everybody else, apparently. The point is, it looks like Washington's offense is pretty good. There's a lot of talent at the skill positions. Chicago's defense is, on the other hand, not. Just when it looked like the Bears were perhaps about to show some vital signs last week against the Broncos, up 28-7 in the third quarter, Justin Fields committed some costly turnovers and the defense gave up 24 straight points to move to 0-4 this season. Even when things go right for the Bears, they go wrong. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat should live in the Bears' backfield, so I think it makes for some tough sledding. There will be some resistance to this number if it moves to -7, which is expected, and it's already been bet back from -6.5 earlier on Tuesday. However, I think there's some value here. Laying a full touchdown on Thursday night isn't what I'm thrilled to do, as there's not a lot of preparation for these games. However, the Bears are a mess on both sides of the ball, especially defense, where they're 31st in scoring defense, and last week's effort doesn't help the confidence. The Bears blew the lead against the Broncos and then missed an opportunity to win late, but coaching let them down. At 0-4, you have to question if the Bears are even trying to win at this stage or just in tank mode with potentially being able to draft Caleb Williams. The only way I can play this is to lay the points with Washington and back the team that's actually shown some fight this season. I want little to do with the Bears, so the Washington Commanders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. We have 3 games where the Bears' offense looked pretty anemic and 1 game against the lowly Broncos' defense where it looked pretty good. I think the bigger sample tells the story here. I just don't see the Commanders letting Justin Fields get on track the way the Broncos' defense did last weekend. You might look at the last 3 games and say, well, the last 3 teams scored 30+ on this vaunted Commanders' defensive front, and you'd be right. But each of those 3 quarterbacks is playing much better than Fields this season. The closest comparison we have here is Josh Dobbs, and the Cardinals only got to 16. And that's with a strip sack that went for a touchdown. These 2 teams played a year ago, also, for some reason, on Thursday Night Football, and the Bears could only muster 7 points. What's changed? The Bears added DJ Moore. He clearly hasn't fundamentally changed the offense by himself. The Bears are 22nd in the NFL in points scored and 24th in the NFL in passing yards per game. Thus far on Thursday night, the over-under is an even 2-2. In fact, it has gone every other week, under, and then over the total last week in Green Bay. I like that trend to continue here. While both teams have been efficient in the red zone this season, both have also been susceptible to turnovers. Washington comes in off of a physical conference game and has 2 of the team's top 3 receivers, Samuel and Dotson, on the injury report with leg injuries heading into this game. They will likely try to rely on Robinson and Gibson pounding the ball at the Bears to slow the game down. The Bears' offense had its best passing game of the season, but that came against Denver's league worst defense. On the road this season, the Bears are averaging under 14 points per game. There's just not much here that points to the total going over. Anything can happen in the NFL, but short of a pick 6 or some kind of defensive touchdown, this one should stay under in Washington on Thursday night. Look for a low-scoring game on Thursday night between 2 teams that are still a work in progress on the offensive end. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.